Hello all, welcome to part 16 of mobile testing training series. In this session, I'm going to explain and practically demonstrate how to use this emulator software program, that is Android SDK emulator software program. So why we have to use this Android SDK emulator software program? By installing this particular software, Android SDK emulator software in our machine, we can create virtual mobile devices. Okay, why we need this virtual mobile devices? As explained in the previous sessions, okay, if you get a project where mobile application need to be tested in many mobile devices, okay, if a particular mobile application has to be tested, okay, in multiple mobile devices, the company which is going to perform testing has to purchase all these devices, okay, has to purchase all these devices, and the cost of purchasing these devices will be very huge. Okay, that's the problem. In order to reduce the amount or money spent in purchasing those mobile devices that are required for performing the mobile, okay, that are required for performing the mobile application testing, that is testing the mobile application, okay, to reduce the cost, we may not purchase all the devices. For example, we may purchase few mobile devices that are really required for performing the testing of the mobile application on those real devices. For all the remaining devices, we go with the emulators and simulators. Okay, so these emulators and simulators are nothing but the software programs. They are just software programs, guys, which will mimic, okay, mimic us in creating, okay, they will help us in creating some virtual mobile devices, which those virtual mobile devices are not the real mobile devices, they are going to mimic the original mobile devices. Okay, so as explained yesterday, as explained in the previous session, okay, so we need to use a combination of the real devices and this kind of emulators and simulator softwares to create the virtual devices to test the application on the required mobile devices. Otherwise, the our spending, our purchasing of these mobile devices will be very costly. Okay. Now, in this session, I'm going to show you how to use this Android SDK emulator software for, okay, for creating these virtual devices and then installing the application, the mobile application that need to be tested, okay, into that virtual devices that are launched by this SDK emulator software. Okay, how to install them and how to test them, I'm going to cover in this session in a detailed manner. Okay, I'll show you how to download this software, how to install the software, how to configure this software, and all those stuff I'm going to cover, guys. Okay, and at the end, I'm going to show you how to install the application, that mobile application that need to be tested, okay, in the virtual mobile device by using this SDK emulator and all those stuff I'm going to cover in detail. Okay, so Android SDK emulator, okay, is a software program, guys, which will help us in mimicking the testing of the mobile apps, Android apps on Android OS virtual devices. Okay, we are going to mimic the downloading, installation, and all those whatever the activities that we generally do with the mobile application on the real mobile device, right? The same thing we can do on the this virtual mobile devices. That too only Android, guys. Okay, it's not iOS or something. Only Android OS virtual devices can be created using this Android SDK emulator software program. Okay. Once I practically demonstrate this, it will be more clear for you. Okay. So in the coming topics, I'm going to in this coming sections of this notes, I'm going to do that. Okay. The same session I'm going to do that, guys. Okay. But in order to get this Android SDK emulator, okay, there is no direct software for downloading and installing and using this Android SDK emulator. There's no direct software. But in order to get this Android SDK emulator, we need to install a software known as Android Studio. We have to download, install, and configure a software known as Android Studio. Along with this Android Studio, we are going to get Android SDK. Android SDK is not a separate software, guys. It comes as part of another software known as Android Studio. When you download, install, and configure Android Studio, along with that Android Studio, you'll get this a part of the software as Android SDK, guys. Okay, it's not a direct software. We have to download, install, and configure Android Studio for this. So here, the below are the three articles, guys. Okay, on Windows machine, if you have to install this Android SDK emulator, you can also install this Android SDK emulator in Mac machine also. But if you want to download, install, and configure this Android Studio on your Windows machine, okay, to get this Android SDK emulator in the Windows machine, these are the links. Okay, and these links talk about how to download, install, configure Android Studio in Windows machine. So first, how to download and install Android Studio, guys. So simple guys, just click on new tab and say download Android Studio. Just Google search for this, 3 words. Okay, and download Android Studio. You'll get this developer.android.com studio. Click on that link. You'll be taken to the web page, a web page where you can download the Android Studio. Okay. Only Android mobile devices can be emulated. Okay, emulated using this Android Studio. Okay. So here Android Studio, this website UI may change tomorrow, guys. But as when I'm recording this session, as you can see here, there is a button here. Okay. By clicking on this button, you'll get this download Android Studio. Some version is there at this moment. Just terms and conditions are there. Just read the terms and conditions, select the checkbox and click on download Android Studio option. Okay. In a while, this Android Studio will be downloaded, guys. Okay. In a while, this Android Studio software will be downloaded. Okay. Let me pause this recording and resume once the download is completed. It won't take much time, but I'm just pausing and resuming the video meanwhile. As you can see, this Android Studio software has been downloaded. Let's go to the location where it got downloaded. It will be downloads folder, guys, in your machine. So by default. So this is the exe file. So using which we are going to install the Android Studio. We have downloaded it. Now I'm going to install it. This machine may become slow, guys. Okay, because this software is not a normal software. It the software is kind of heavy software, you can say. Unlike other softwares, this software is heavy, guys. So let me double click. So before I install and do all the stuff, let me see my even storage also will be taken. Resources will be taken heavily, okay, by the software, guys. Okay, that's a normal thing. We should get adjusted. See, before installing it, 53.5 GB is there. Okay, let's keep on checking this location. So I got a user access control dialog. Okay. It's asking me the permissions to allow the software to install. I'm just selecting yes. In a while, we'll get the installation wizard for Android Studio setup. Okay, with Android Studio, we'll get Android SDK emulator. Okay, so just click on next. Don't change anything, guys. Here we have to make sure that this option is selected by default. If it is selected, that's okay. If it's not selected, select it and click on next. Without this, you cannot create the virtual devices, Android virtual devices. So we have to select that. And when you click next again, you see you'll be taken to this configuration setting where location where this Android Studio is going to be installed under C program files, Android Studio. Okay. Android folder will be created in the program files. Under that, we'll be getting the Android Studio. Click on next. Click on install, guys. The installation may take some time. I'll pause and resume the video. Okay. Once it's almost done, I'll resume the video. As you can see, the installation has been completed. Click on next button and completing Android Studio setup. This came and with this start Android Studio automatically. I'll uncheck this, guys. I don't want to launch the Android Studio automatically. Rather, I want to show you another way where you can manually launch the Android Studio later. Okay. Click on finish. Android Studio will not be launched because I unchecked the option. Now what I'll do is I'll just select this search and here search for Android Studio. Okay. After installing, I'm searching for Android Studio and select this. Okay. Let me search it Android Studio. Okay, search for this and you'll get this app. You select this. So in a while, Android Studio will be launched, guys. Android Studio will be launched, and this is the version that is getting launched. Okay, as per the latest, as per my current date and time. Android Studio is powered by the IntelliJ platform. It is saying finding available SDK components. Let's see. It's asking help improve Android Studio. Don't send or send user statics to Google. I don't want to send it. Okay. Or you can prefer to send also, no problem. Anything will work fine. Okay. So no Android SDK found, it is saying. So it's saying that you have downloaded and installing Android Studio, but it doesn't have Android SDK. So you have to install it. Okay. For that, you have to click on next button. And here in the next screen, you got SDK component setup. Android SDK is coming 422 MB. Okay, total download size is 586 MB, and it will get downloaded here, guys. Okay, it will get set up here. See users are a username folder, that is Arunium in my case. Hidden folder app data under that local, under that Android, under that SDK. Okay, now click on next. My you see my drive, you see during this process it was 53 something, now it went to 51.2 now. 2 GB is already gone. And with this, again, it will reduce a bit. Okay, this drive size will reduce a bit. Just click on next. Okay, so it has to download and install. Android emulator is coming, SDK softwares are coming. You see all these things. So I'll just have to click on next, guys. I have to accept these terms and conditions on license agreement and click on finish. It will download the components. Okay, it will take some time, guys. It will take some time to download all the components and all. I'll pass the recording and resume the recording once this is okay, almost there. Okay, guys, I got this screen now. Downloading components, finish. Okay, so up to date. Click on finish. That's it. You see, you'll get welcome to Android Studio, and these are older things. Okay, so fine. Before I install this, it came. That's okay. You will get something like this, guys. Okay, welcome to Android Studio, and projects will come. And for the first time, you'll be asked to create a new project. Just select new project, guys. Okay, you just need to say new project, and here. You see, by default, this empty activity is being selected. You see, by default, it is selected. Let that be. Click on next. You don't have to do any changes here. We'll ask for the project name and just give him some sample project. Okay, sample project. That's it. Don't worry about much about this. You don't have to worry about this projects and all. This is just a and keep this. Okay, keep this whatever the version that is coming, and don't have to do any changes here. Okay, click on finish, guys. That's it. So completing requested actions. Okay. So install Android SDK platform 32, downloading and all the stuff is happening. So let's wait until this is done. I'll pass and resume the video. So it got installed, completing requested actions. We got this finish button, click on finish button. It's loading some components now. Okay. Loading that sample project that I gave the name of sample project, right? The project is being loaded. You don't have to worry about the project here, guys. Okay. Just for the case, we are just created that project. That's okay. We are not going to do anything with that project anyhow. Here some loading will happen, like scanning files to index. Let's wait for this loading to complete, finish up. It will take a while sometimes. As you can see, the loading process is completed now. I resume the video, and you can see the sample project got created with all this stuff. We are not going to do anything with these files and all, guys. Okay. We just created a project, that's all. But what next? I'll explain. So what is the next point that we have to take care of? We have downloaded and installed this Android Studio, which came along with the Android SDK. Android SDK came along with this Android Studio for now. And now the next thing is that once this downloading and creating of this project is done, okay, you can close this if you want. Okay, you can close this if you want. I sure you want exit? Yes, I want exit. That's fine. I want to configure this Android Studio in my machine, guys. Okay. I have to configure this Android Studio in my machine. So how to do that? For that, go to the, you see, the drive size is slowly getting decreased. From 53, we came to 48. That's all around 5 GB is already gone. Okay. Open that and go to the place where we see users. Okay. Users. And in that username folder, Arunium, where the Android SDK emulator software has been installed. Okay. Setup, as you can see. OS, this PC, C drive, users, username folder, and here we'll have a hidden folder, okay, known as app data. App data hidden folder. This is a hidden folder, guys. If you're not able to see this app data under this username folder, you have to say view here and say show view and make sure that this option is selected so that you can see the hidden items. Since this option is in selected state, I can see the hidden folder app data. I have to go inside the app data, then local. Inside the local, I have to see this, I have to go to inside this Android folder. Inside the Android, you will see SDK. So till SDK, you have to go first. Copy this location, say copy. Now here, click on search and type edit system. Edit the system environment variables option will come up. Select that. You come here and here advanced tab is by default selected. Click on environment variables. And now under system variables here, click on new button and type Android underscore home. You just type in capital letters with an underscore in between and paste the path. Whatever the path of this SDK folder, you paste it here, guys. Okay, and say okay. That's it. Then find the pre-existing path system variable I don't have to create this. It will come by default. Select edit. And here I need to add the paths of this Android thing. Okay. So here under SDK, I'll go inside the tools. Okay. I'll copy these tools. Till tools I'll copy, and here I'll say new and paste it. There's one thing. The next thing is I'll go inside the bin folder here. Under the tools, there is bin folder. Till bin folder you copy. Come back here and say new and paste. Now go back to SDK. There's something known as platform tools. Go inside the platform tools under SDK and copy this path. Copy and again add it. Okay, this is the process of configuring. Say okay, say okay, say okay. Okay, that's it, guys. Configuration is required because when you want to launch this virtual devices, okay, this virtual mobile devices using command prompt, the configuration is compulsory necessary. Okay, not always we have to use Android Studio for launching the virtual devices. We can still use our command prompt, guys. I'll show you how to do that. Now let's launch Android Studio. You already know how to launch. Click on search and type Android Studio here, and you'll see the option coming up. Okay, Android Studio, and you'll see this app coming up. Select the app, Android Studio app. It will launch. Android Studio will launch again. Okay, no, how many times you want to launch, you can close and launch, guys. No problem. Just search and launch. In the next parts, I'm going to show you how to create the emulator using this. Okay, how to create that emulator in Android Studio using that Android SDK. Okay, how to do that, I'm going to show you. First, let's launch this Android Studio. Okay, later I'll show you how to create that emulator. So once the Android Studio is launched, once the loading is completed here, so it's loading, guys. It will take some time to load the project and all. Okay, so we have to wait until the loading is completed. As you can see, the loading is still going on. Is there anything left out? No. Now we got the project completely. We got the project, guys. Now what I'm going to do here is, here there is some menu known as tools menu. Just select the tools menu, and in that you will see something known as device manager. Okay, this option, guys, device manager, you have to select. You select the device manager, and on the right side I got this device manager. Here virtual is there, and under that create device button is there. Okay, so earlier it was, the interface was different. Now as per this current date and time and year, the UI is different. Tomorrow a latest version of Android Studio may come, and this feature may change a bit also. Okay, for now, whatever the time zone I am, time and date and year and month I am, okay, this is the way I have to do. Okay, what is the way? I have to say tools, then I have to say device manager, and under device manager you'll see virtual, and then create device. Just click on create device, guys. Just select the create device. Your system will become slow, guys. Okay, when you are doing this. Okay, that's okay. You see here on the left side, it's asking you to select the hardware that you want to mimic. Okay, virtual device, mobile device, not the real device. It's a virtual mobile device. It may be a phone, tablet, Wear OS, TV. Okay, Wear OS means like smartwatches and all. Okay, TV and automotive kind of stuff. Okay, so let's go with the phone, guys. Okay, phone kind of thing. Then in the phone, I would like to go with something basic. So I'll select Pixel 3. I know there are latest versions of Pixel, Pixel XL, and all the stuff are there, but still I will stick to Pixel 3, guys. I'll select the Pixel 3 and click on the, you see 5.46 inches and all those things are coming. That's okay. I'll go with the Pixel 3 and click on next. So once I click on next, it will ask me to download this image. You have to download the image, guys. Okay. So a lot of images are there provided by different things, and you see versions are also there. Pi operating system, Android 9.0 is also there. This is an image for that Pi operating system. Okay, if you want to have this Pi operating system, Pi OS, Android Pi OS, having the version Android 9.0 in your device, which device? That Google Pixel 3 device. If you want to get this operating system, Android operating system having 9.0, which is called as Pi, then you have to click on this download button. Just click on the download, you will get this license agreement, and simply say accept, read the agreement and click on accept, click on next. You see it started downloading that image. Okay, it's completely virtual, guys. Okay, the device we selected, the operating system that need to be there, we have selected, device model we have selected, operating system version, Android operating system version we have selected, that Pi and Android 9.0 is the version, and the device is the Google. Okay, Google Pixel is a device, and version of that Google Pixel is 3. Okay, there are different versions of Google Pixel, but we have chosen 3 version. Okay, let it download and all. It will take a while, guys. It will take a while. I'll pause the recording and resume the recording once this downloading is kind of progressed. So you can see this finish button here. Click on finish. Okay, the image has been downloaded now. So you see, with all the things like SV2, SR, we have the download options, but with Pi, we don't have that. Select that Pi, which has been just now downloaded, the operating system. Okay, this is the Pi. Click on next. And here it's asking for a name, guys. I just want to give some name. Either you can give underscores if you want. Don't give spaces, guys. I will tell you what is the reason behind that. I'll just give pixel without any space 3. Or I can give underscore 3. That is also fine. But it should be a single word for me. Because I want to launch this virtual device later from the command prompt. Then it will be a problem if there are some spaces. So I prefer not giving spaces, or if there possibility of spaces between the words, I have to give underscores between the words. Okay. For now, I'll go with pixel 3, guys. And here pixel 3 Pi, and here you see you can start. What is the startup orientation? When you launch the virtual device, should the device should launch in portrait mode or landscape mode? It's saying better to launch in portrait mode. Okay, so a lot of other options are also there here. Okay. You don't have to change anything. For example, RAM, sometimes you will be getting some options here. For different things, you'll get options to change, guys. If there is a possibility, you have to change, but I don't think you have to change anything now. Okay. So 1536 is the RAM that is going to be taken up. Okay. And all the stuff. And you don't have to do much here. Okay. Just main thing that you have to worry is this name. Okay. Better make sure that you don't give spaces in between the words. Okay. If there is a possibility of space, I either avoid the space or give underscore. Okay. I'm simply giving pixel 3. So I'll remember this name, guys, pixel 3. Once this is done, you will get a finish button here. Click on finish. You will see this pixel 3 with the selected operating system got added into the device manager list, virtual device manager list. Now I need to select this. Let's expand this, select this. And then there's a button here, play, run app. Okay, click on this, run. Let's see what will happen. No running emulators, it is saying. So it will take a while. Just wait, guys. Just wait. It's doing some process and all. We should have this Pixel 3 device. Okay, you see Pixel 3 device came here, connecting to the emulator is coming. Let's wait for some time until this comes. Okay. So I'll pause the recording and resume the recording once this connection is established. You see, it's came. It's came. That's okay. It's came, guys. If you want to expand it, you can expand it, and then you just okay, do in all directions. That's okay. This is the device, Pixel 3, and it's coming here. Okay. So I don't prefer using this virtual device from the Android Studio. Okay. Rather, I want to close this Android Studio and use this virtual device, launch this virtual device using a command prompt. That will be more better. You'll get more options also. Okay. Then here, you'll get more options, guys. Okay. All these options that are there here, right? Okay. These options will come on the right side and you will see a bigger screen. Okay. This looks, I have to manually maximize and all those stuff, right? To get the screen size and all. I don't prefer this view. So what I'll do is I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off. Let's see whether it's getting turned it off or not. It's still loading, I guess. So, okay. It's loading actually, but if I'm trying to turn it off, it's not turning it off. We'll wait for a while until this loading is completed. After that, we'll turn it off. Okay. I'm passing the recording. I'm passing the recording and resume the recording once this loading is completed in that mobile device. Still, it is loading, guys. Took a lot of time for the screen to be displayed. In a while, it will show us the home screen of this mobile device. I'll resume the video. You see, it's loading, almost there, I guess. Once it is loading the home screen, I'll just resume the video, pass and resume the video. So Gradle build finished. Waiting for all target devices to come online. You see, phone is starting. Okay, the phone is starting. Almost there. Should see some icons and all in a while. So it's installing something again. Okay, this is what, guys, it's kind of slow actually. Okay, it's kind of slow, guys. Okay, you cannot expect this to be faster. Okay, you got a Play Store here. Okay, you got a Play Store here, and a lot of things will happen. Just be with that. Sample project is coming. Whatever sample project you created is coming here, guys. Okay, with the hello world and all. I'll go to the home. I don't want the sample project. I'll just using my mouse. I'll just scroll up like this instead of finger. And here I'm getting a lot of options. You see, I'm getting a lot of options. And I scroll up. So some applications are coming by default. For example, this clock application is coming. Some default applications are coming here. WhatsApp application is not there by default. Okay, in the list of applications that are there here, WhatsApp application is not there, but I'm launching the clock application, which is coming by default, and I can check the options. I can test this application if I want. But what I will do here is, guys, what I will try to do here is I'll try to install an application here. I would like to install an application in this device. Okay, virtual. This is not a real device, right? This is a virtual device which we have launched using the Android SDK. Okay, so emulator. So this is emulation. This is nothing but emulation. It's mimicking the original device, but it's not the real device. Okay. So what I will do is I'll power it off. I'll launch this device in a better way rather than using Android Studio. So rather than using the UI of this Android Studio, without the UI of this Android Studio, I'll try to launch this, and then you will feel more better. Okay. Just I'll turn it off. Let's see whether it's getting turned it off or not. Yeah, it got turned it off. I turned it off, and I'll stop this app from running. I'll stop. The two things happened. Done. So whether it got turned off or not, yeah, if you're getting this run option, and then that's fine. Okay, it got turned off. So what I'm trying to do now is something different, guys. Okay, what I will try to do here is I'll just close this Android Studio. I'll close this Android Studio. I'll exit it. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll launch from the command prompt, guys. I don't need that Android Studio to be launched. Okay. I don't want to launch Android Studio, and from that I don't have to go to tools and then device manager and then launch. Instead of launching like that, I'll use a command prompt. Okay, in my system, I'll use a command prompt to launch that virtual devices, and we'll get a better view of the virtual device also at same time. Okay, so it is taking the help of Android Studio only, but in using command prompt we are doing instead of using the UI of the Android Studio. By using command prompt, we are going. So what have for it? Okay, yeah, now it has released me. So sometimes it will stuck, guys, because your system will get struck. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, it will happen. So launching is over, guys. Then other way of launching, I'm going to show you, like using the command prompt and all. What I have to do is I have to go to the location, guys. Okay, I'll go to my C drive. You see, it from 53 it came to almost 42, guys. 42.7, almost 11 GB it has taken so far, right? So much space it is taking. Android Studio is taking a lot of space. It's not a simple software, as I told you. Go to G drive, users, username folder, then go to app data hidden folder, then go to the local, then go to Android, then go to SDK, and then in the SDK we have something known as emulator. Till emulator you have to go, guys. Okay, under SDK till emulator, select this and type CMD here and press enter. The command prompt will launch at this path. You see, you don't have to say CD user, CD Aruniam and all those stuff. Just go to this path and select this and say CMD and open. The command prompt will open at this location itself. Okay. At this location, you have to say emulator.exe hyphen AVD. I'm just guessing the command is right, but if not, what is the name we have given for that the virtual device, guys? Pixel, if you remember. Pixel 3 was without any spaces I gave Pixel 3, right? Just press enter. Yeah, this is the command, guys. Simulator exe hyphen avd, and you see it is launching. It will launch. You see it will launch very fast compared to the Android Studio. It's launching very fast. Say okay here, guys. Not required. You see, you are getting this. You just minimize this command prompt, and then you can drag this anywhere. You see, it is a virtual device. Okay, you don't need Android Studio to be launched every time to launch this virtual device without with command prompt. Also, we can get this, and it looks good, and it is very easy when compared to the Android Studio. Okay, the view and screen size is very good. I'll turn it on. Just click on this power button. It will turn it on. You see it very fast. It is now, right? If I want to increase the volume, I can increase the volume here. If I want to decrease the volume, I can increase the volume like this, and decrease the volume like this, whatever it is. Now, if I want to move into the different modes here, so it has moved to the landscape mode. I'll again change it to the, okay, let's just keep on rotating, guys. Okay, something I changed. Okay, now it came into the proper place. Either landscape or portrait mode is currently now. We can take a screenshot, guys. If you want to take the screenshot of this, just click on the screenshot. It will capture the screenshot, and you just go to your desktop. Here the screenshot is taken. You see, this is the screenshot, guys. Okay, this is a screenshot that has been taken. This is a screenshot has been taken, guys. Okay, so screenshot will be automatically taken on your desktop. That's one thing. And then what else is there? If you want to zoom in, you can click on this. Zoom out, you have to click on this. Then back, if you want to go back, you go on to the home page. All these three options. Okay, you see, this one will show you all the applications that are currently open. Okay, so this is the thing, guys. Now what I'm trying to do is I want to install a mobile app in this virtual device. How to install the mobile app in this? For example, I want to install WhatsApp. Let's say generally we have to install from the Play Store, right? We have to click on the Play Store and search for the WhatsApp and all those stuff, right? But I'm not going to do that. Assume that you are in a project where your developers have not published this mobile app into the Play Store, okay? So the mobile applications which are tested properly and working fine are generally released into the Play Store, right? Before releasing the mobile app into the Play Store, Google Play Store, for the standard operating system, okay, developers and testing team has to make sure developers have developed it properly, and testers have to make sure that the working of the application is fine. Now it can be released into the market. That is nothing but can be published into the Play Store or not. Once that is decided and published, then you can go to the Play Store. But what if the situation is something like this, guys? What if the situation is something like this where the mobile app is still under the development and different versions are getting created and given to the testing team? At that time, if the testing team have to install this mobile app, can they go to the Play Store and install? No. Once it is ready only, then publish it into the Play Store. But before it is ready to be released into the market, if it has to be shared to the testers, the developers will create something known as .apk file, okay, to install in the mobile device. Instead of going from the Play Store to install, the developers will provide something known as .apk file. From where we can get that APK file? Okay, so developers have to provide that. So since I don't have developers with me who can give me some sample APK file, what I'm going to do is WhatsApp. WhatsApp is actually giving the APK file, guys. Okay, WhatsApp APK file, APK download, I'll say. Okay, if you Google search for this WhatsApp APK download, you'll get this link, guys, Android WhatsApp. Okay, and you'll get this download now button. Okay, just click on the download and you'll get this WhatsApp.apk file here. Okay, this is a sample APK file, guys, that I'm just using just to demonstrate how to install. For example, this is the application that you're going to test. If WhatsApp is the application you are going to test, developers have to provide this APK file. Okay, once the developers provide this APK file, what you will do, you go to the location where this APK file is there, and on the side, you'll open this virtual device manager and drag this APK file and drop it onto the screen like this. Okay, you see it will be installed. The application will be installed. This is what happens in real time, guys. When you are performing mobile testing, you have to drag and drop the APK file onto the device. In a while, the WhatsApp will be installed. You will see, I'll show you guys after the installation is done. I'll show you the WhatsApp application being there in the mobile. So it's taking some time. Let's let that happen. Okay, so now just scroll up and you will see WhatsApp coming here. You see, earlier WhatsApp was not there. Now WhatsApp is there. If your application that you're going to test is WhatsApp, just launch it and do all these operations. And you will be testing using this Android SDK emulator. Okay. related virtual device. This is a virtual device. This is not the real mobile, right? This is a virtual mobile. Okay. And then you can perform testing. I'm not going to show how to test this now, but I'm just saying that if this is the application you have to test, the testing will be same. Like the general software testing will be performed, right? That will be same. I'll try to cover more about the testing of the mobile app in detail in the upcoming sessions. But for now, this much is fine. So, and also guys, whatever you are doing on the screen, if you want to record or something, you'll get more options here. Just click on these three dots. You'll get this extended controls. And there are a lot of options here, guys. Okay. Battery and all this settings you can do. And you have this record and playback. You can say start recording. Whatever the actions you are doing on this mobile, right, will be recorded and saved. Okay. Start recording. Do whatever you want. Again, go to the home. Let's say. Okay. And just scroll up. Again, launch WhatsApp second time. Just launching WhatsApp. Agree and continue. I'm just clicking. Agree and continue. You see, it's kind of slow, not interactive well. Now stop recording. Okay. Save. When you say save, guys, where it will be saved, let's see. It is asking you where you want to save this file. Okay. Save this. Okay. The video file will be saved into your machine. Okay. Whatever the actions you are doing in this virtual emulator, that will be saved into your machine. Okay. So a lot of things are there, guys. You can set the touch sensor and all those stuff that are there. That's okay. Okay. So that's all, guys. That's all I wanted to explain it as part of this session. Okay. So all the emulator options also I gave you. And I showed you finally how to install the mobile app that need to be tested in the Android SDK emulator. Okay. Launch it virtual device. That's also covered. So with this, guys, I gave you a clear understanding of Android SDK emulator and how to install this application under test there. Okay. In the one of the virtual device that is launched using this Android SDK emulator. Okay. So this is how we are going to use the Android SDK emulator for launching the virtual devices and thereafter installing the applications. Okay. Android applications. Okay. Like whatever the application that you get from the client and then testing it. Okay. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye.